Hi, everyone. It's Jacqueline Kuhn here with JacquelineKuhn.com, powered by angels. And today we're here to talk about Mercury in Cancer. When Mercury entered Cancer, it's about emotional intelligence, intuitive communications, and your soul-aligned truth. So let's get started. The archangels for this transit are Gabriel, Haniel, and Zadkiel, because this energy is all about where your mind meets your heart. Now, Mercury is the mind, right? It's communication, it's perception, and it's the stories that we tell ourselves. Mercury shows us how our mind works and how we express our purpose. So we're really talking about the energy around thinking, speaking, communicating our truth, and how that sits when we are in the sign of Cancer, which means that the mind will become a little more intuitive. It's a shift from thinking with logic to thinking with feeling. Our communication becomes softer, it becomes deeper, and more emotionally attuned. We are definitely sensitive to tone and energy. So as we speak, as we listen, the tone of our voice and the tone of the voices of others are going to be picked up by us. So be patient with people. You may misinterpret their tone. They may not realize that what the tone is that they're speaking with. So just be aware that during the season, the tone of speech is going to be super important. Mercury's gift is healing conversations, right? Healing conversations, healing with really intuitive clarity, kind of saying, yeah, I hear that you're saying this, but I kind of think you mean something else. And because of that, you really want to watch the shadow pieces of this transit. Um, Awareness is empowerment, but try not to take things too personally. Try to not to be passive in your communications, thinking, oh, well, you know what I mean. Not really, because this is a time where communications can be misinterpreted if you're not clear enough. This is also a very the time, we never want to assume, but in this transit, because you're believing that people know what you're trying to say or what you're trying to mean, there's a lot of assuming going on. So these shadows that can occur during this transit, just be careful of them, because they all can lead to miscommunication and arguments and things going south when this really should be an awakening in our communication and a heightening of understanding each other. And the sole purpose work that you want to do in this transit is the work that aligns your mind and your heart. So a couple of things to do is ask yourself, what am I feeling and what do I need to say? In other words, what emotions have you been avoiding or suppressing? Great thing to journal at the end of the day, like today, what did I suppress? What did I avoid? Did I decide to not speak my emotion? Um, the other real good soul purpose work in journaling is really rewriting stories that you have that may be rooted in your fear, abandonment, etc. And so answering the question, what does emotional safety look like you today, right now? What did it look like you during the day, or maybe on at the end of the week, you might want to ask yourself, what did emotional safety look like this week? What did I do to keep myself emotion? And then kind of is that, where did that come from? Did that come from a place of fear, or did it come from a place of faith? Did it come from a place of knowing, or did it come from, a place of abandonment? So healing your inner narrative of what you're telling yourself, great time to do that. And then knowing your body and your intuition. It is so important that you understand when your intuition is trying to tell you something. And so understanding when your heart wants to say, hey, do that, or hey, don't do that. And really connecting with your heart and, journaling about, what truth does your heart want to speak? And then the other healing work to be done during this transit is any ancestral or family healing. You can break ancestral communication patterns, particularly because this is Cancer is about communication as well. And so, what conversations would you have with people who are still living, or even what conversations do you want to have with your spirit team or those who have passed, right? That would bring you healing or closure. And if they're no longer with us, journaling about this, and then just sitting in meditation, talking to them. I do believe that the folks who have gone are in the spirit world, can hear us when we ask them to come in. We may not, you may not have evolved your gift in being able to hear them speak back to you, but they can absolutely hear us when we call for them. And just remember that during this transit, you really, your speech should soothe, it should, and support, and strengthen your communication. It's soft tones, it's not harsh, it's from the heart. It's emotional without being dramatic, right? It's really being just as true as you possibly can be, and as honest as you possibly can be, knowing that that may be tough because you may be speaking things that you have, forced down or held back for quite a while. And because we're talking about communication and intuition and life stories, the three archangels for this transit are Gabriel, Haniel, and Zadkiel. Gabriel is the archangel for Cancer, as well as communication. Haniel is just our divine feminine energy and intuition, and she really can help you stay grounded. And then Zadkiel is all about releasing old stories and rewriting new ones. And during this transit, when you're looking to communicate, you may want to start, prepare yourself before a meeting or something with this prayer. Archangels Gabriel, Haniel, and Zadkiel, as Mercury moves through Cancer, help me speak with compassion, listen with intuition, and honor the truth that rises from within. Let my words be gentle, my thoughts be clear, and my communication rooted in emotional wisdom. May I release old stories, heal the memories that still shape my voice, and express myself with softness, courage, and grace. I trust my inner knowing. I trust my heart's truth, and I allow my voice to become a channel of healing. And so it is. And so with this Mercury in Cancer, communicate, this is your invitation to let your heart speak, to communicate with softness, intuition, and emotional truth. This is where your inner voice becomes your guide. I thank you for being with me and watching this video. I want to let you know that we are offering some June specials. I have a special on the Soul Purpose Blueprint, as well as there will be a retrograde workshop at the end of June. As we have 3 planets going into retrograde, we will do a workshop to help you understand how it impacts you specifically based on your natal chart. Please subscribe if you aren't already a subscriber. For those of you who are, I am grateful for you always. Like this episode if it resonated with you. And as always, I'm here in gratitude, purpose, and light. Until we meet again, goodbye for now.